good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Welcome and thank you so very much for being here. I am Kim Serafini, the founder, creator and CEO, the inventor of something called a positive prime session. And I believe that you're here right now because this is one of the most exquisite, elegant, exciting opportunities on the planet. And that is to become involved in something that we would call the positivity movement, our positivity world and ecosystem, and you would become a positive primer, if you're not already, for all of the reasons I will explain to you in a moment. And I think that this is a rare chance for us all to dive into something that is really emotionally uplifting and really healthy. It's mentally uplifting and incredibly healthy. It's also very good in the great sense of the word with respect to our social connections, our ability to co-create in community, our opportunity to really contribute way beyond ourselves, and also, quite frankly, to our financial abundance. So I believe in a holistic approach to health and well-being that is both spiritual and scientific. And I also believe in a collaboration and a genuine and sincere connection between all the varied parts of ourselves, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, financially, right? It's not any of the either or paradigms that we've been used to. And so let me just very quickly go through what I believe is the opportunity here. And for those of you who are watching this replay, thank you for finding the time as well. But I want to get into some specific details, and please do write some things in the chat for me. I'll do my very best to actually look at the chat and also look at what's going on with the participants and answer some questions and address some issues and so forth. But let me just do a little bit of quick storytelling. So I sit here before you today knowing that nothing can be created without each other. This is a together journey. And I couldn't be more delighted in the people who have been drawn to what is Positive Prime. Positive Prime has actually been in existence since around about December 2018, but I actually briefed the first software engineer that worked on this current iteration of our platform in about January of 2018. And we're actually in the middle, of course, of 2022. So I just wanted to put that into context for everyone. We've been on this journey for a little while, and we've gone through several iterations. When I first launched Positive Prime, it was actually a free platform. But what happened was people paid for each individual additional piece of content, and they also paid to be able to personalize a Positive Prime session. And I'm going to explain to you what that actually means, okay? So I'm going to screen share for a second, and I'm going to show you. This is what we call a Positive Prime session. I think it's no coincidence. There's lots of serendipity and synchronicity that happens in my life and all of the people's lives that I serve. And Leah, you are here today in the audience. I just saw you arrive and I'm like, wow, guess what? I actually just watched your session to prepare myself for this presentation. One of the questions might be, and why would I do that? Well, because what we know is that there is a science of positive priming. What we have created is a lot of clinically evaluated techniques from the fields of positive psychology and neuroscience. But we've really combined that with the wisdom that has been available to us for decades, that has arisen out of the human potential movement. That is really all that we've learned from people going through a personal growth, a self-growth journey, one where there's development and improvement. And you'll know some of the very famous names in this area, Tony Robbins, Deepak Chopra, Joe Dispenza. I've actually done all of their high-level programs and workshops. I have been able to work with now people like Jack Canfield from Chicken Soup for the Soul and the Success Principles. I really admire and respect him. And Interestingly enough, what has emerged is this combination of the spiritual and the scientific, but it's all about us being our very best and living the lives that we actually truly want to live without judgment, and allowing ourselves to be very forgiving of ourselves, very loving of ourselves, and indeed less judgmental and more loving of others. It allows us to create a compassionate world. And I believe that's one where there's a lot of peace as an opportunity. Okay, so here is the positive prime session. I'm just going to go back to the dashboard for a second, and I'm going to show you that I've watched a session today, but let's just say I want to focus on my fitness. A positive prime session, we have just scientifically validated. So we've actually really been addressing our legitimacy as a really solid, very comprehensive tool for the mental health and wellness journey. And what we've been able to determine with some friends at the University of Technology, Sydney, which is a little bit like the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT in the United States of America. So in the School of Engineering at UTS, they've been using eye tracking, skin conductance, heart rate variability, EEG, to actually examine the power and the potential of positive prime. And what they discovered was that we positively impact brain dynamics. And here is the exquisite part of the story. Rapidly, so very, very quickly, and reliably, and that's what's actually truly extraordinary from my perspective. So rapidly and reliably, and we have an extremely, I think, interesting opportunity in the marketplace because we're so affordable. Like, it is such good value. So anyway, this is a positive prime session. We're not negotiable on some of the aspects of a positive prime session. So we actually track how all of our users, of which there are more than 10,000 these days, how they're feeling. You have variable speed here because as a human being, you want to be able to control everything. That's just natural. It's part of you being, quite frankly, alive. And then we have over 1,000 what we would call frames. These are slides. Every single time you press play, all of the slides, all of the frames are reshuffled so that we have a neuroplasticity effect. We create new neural pathways for people. It does it to you and for you. You don't actually have to effort at this. It's just absolutely fantastic. What you do is you upload your own personal photographs into each one of these pieces of content so that you can integrate into your identity, your other than consciousness, your unconscious and your subconscious, the messages. So interestingly enough, the messages here are from me. And so the suggestions, the advice, the incantations, the affirmations, the mantras are built into this process. But you'll see there's lots of photographs of me. And in fact, for those of you who know me, you'll see photographs of my family, my friends, my pets. You'll see that I have used this as a gratitude journal, and I've also used it as a vision board exercise. And this is really an act of self-love for me. This is a very beautiful ritual, or enrichual, as some people call it. And I absolutely do love it. So this is a positive prime session. Well, what we decided was, wouldn't it be awesome if we actually further developed our platform? And what we did was every single time you watched a session all the way to the end, instead of aborting it, you actually earned some credits. Well, over 4 years ago, that was the original and initial brief to our software engineer. And what's amazing is that we actually are getting back to that with something that we now call the positivity token. So I'm literally going to help you understand here that once you join Positive Prime as an annual subscriber, and so you can come in, you actually upgrade if you haven't already, it's $199 a year. We have an amazing affiliate program. So we actually have grown because of fabulous people like some of you who are here are wonderful fans and supportive and encouraging what it is that we're doing. You believe in the value of this product or this service, and you share it with others, and you earn 50% for those people who directly come in as annual Positive Prime subscribers as a result of your efforts in quite frankly, guiding other people and helping other people. And so we pay out 50% on level 1, and then 10% on level 2, and then 5% on level 3 for this particular aspect. We have an amazing area called Coaching Pearls. So this is in addition. We have lots of very short little coaching sessions by some amazing people who can walk their talk, and they're available for you. We also have lots of free resources. The free resources are lots of little fantastic short videos that give you lots of great tips and suggestions on how to make the most of a Positive Prime membership. Now, this is everything on how do you improve your performance. So the science basically says when you're positively primed, the very next action that you take in flow. And what the science actually showed us with the eye tracking and the EEG was that your brain is in synchronization in alpha and theta waves, which means this is a very interesting way to drop into flow. And when you're in flow, you're more creative. We know that people who work in the financial world, traders in particular, the science or the research that has been around positive priming for them, they make more accurate trades, they actually make more profits, they're more decisive in their decision making, and they make better quality decisions. All of this has been scientifically verified. We know that people who are positively primed do in fact have less pain in their body. That's scientifically proven, and I could spend an hour telling you all about that, but you're here to find out, okay, so what does this mean, and could I actually become a part of this global group of people? Could I go and spread positivity? And would you actually like this as a income opportunity or a business opportunity for yourself? And maybe the answer is yes. Do you know I've actually got this incredible little piece of paper here? It's a chart. Maybe you can see that. Maybe you want to ask me for it. And if you do, just send me an email, support@positiveprime.com, and we can send this to you. But what this effectively says is I can actually show you how, depending upon who you are, you could make more than $3 million a year in partnership with us if you really want to put your shoulder to the wheel and you're a great, positive person who loves edifying and sharing and encouraging others and transferring your enthusiasm, and you're very good at asking people to purchase something or buy something, and you really like high ticket items, this is the opportunity for you. Now, having said that, maybe you only want to get your money back from your initial outlay. So what is your initial outlay? It's $199 for Positive Prime. Now, beyond that, what's the next part of this story? Well, the next part of this story is something we call the Positivity Club. And so this is an additional division of Positive Prime. It's another product and service. And this is where we get into Web3, and we've created something that is a reflection technology token. And a token is a type of cryptocurrency. There are NFTs, so non-fungible tokens, they're tokens, and we've actually got a token. So they are a type of cryptocurrency, but in the first instance, all I want you to think about is this is a rewards program that gives you an opportunity to earn fractions of tokens from viewing Positive Prime sessions, and then you can use those tokens in the marketplace that we are building. And we're hoping to actually launch the marketplace by the end of this year. We're on track at this stage. That's awesome. And so you're going to use these positivity tokens, that's the name of the token, and you're going to be able to pay for other products and services, which could be coaching, for example, from some of our amazing leaders. So let's just say you're a coach, you're a therapist, you're a healer, you're an author, you're a speaker, you're a program trainer, and you are here to serve humanity, and you want us all to realize our full potential. And you might be a health coach, a relationship coach, a money coach, you might be a life coach, you might be a energy healer, you might be a Reiki therapist, you might be a sound healer, and we could go on and on. You could become what we would call a vendor or a supplier to the marketplace. We'll have a beautiful and exquisite opportunity for you to upload your profile. I want you to think of it a little bit like a dating app like eHarmony. I actually met my life partner through eHarmony. It was my first and only ever date, and thank goodness Cameron and I had an opportunity to really develop a very deep and meaningful love, a spiritual love, but also a life together. Anyway, so I want you to imagine that we will have lots of people all over the world who will be uploading their profile. And what will happen is our customers are really our subscribers of Positive Prime, and they will get to know these people like you, through a positive prime session. So they'll get to feel the essence of you. They'll get to feel your wisdom. They'll get to feel what it is that you're educating and or entertaining and or inspiring about. And then they might click on your name and go off and see what else it is that you have to offer. And you might say to yourself, you know what? I really want to be able to gift positive primers one of my coaching sessions at least once a week. And so positive primers will have a chance to use their positivity tokens to actually pay for a session or an appointment with you. What's amazing about that is that the actual entire facility, all the functionality online available 24/7 for all of that to happen will mean that positive primers will also be able to pay for one of your products or services, programs, etc., in real money as well, not just positivity tokens. So we've got an incredibly innovative and very disruptive new world just about to come into this positive prime world that we've already established and we've had going really quite successfully for the last couple of years. I'll tell you something fascinating. I was presenting earlier this week to some people who are venture capitalists and potentially interested in investing in positive prime. And what they were astonished with is that we have grown positive prime without any debt financing and without any equity financing. We have literally grown positive prime from the grassroots, from pulling up our bootstraps, and from, quite frankly, living on the smell of an oily rag. And so one of the things that I definitely do understand is how do you stay persistent and consistent in the pursuit of really extraordinary goals in your life so that your dreams become reality. And I'm here to help you all. And there's lots of other amazing positive prime leaders who are also here to help you to live your dreams. And to do that in a very tangible way and a very realistic way, but also harnessing magic. The manifestation aspect to what it is that we do cannot be denied, and it can't be completely divorced from us just because we're also scientific, right? So what the Positivity Club basically allows everybody to do is come in at a level that suits them. And the ultimate is you come to a gathering that's either virtual and or online. So it's quite frankly going to eventually be in the metaverse. However, we've got a real life physical version of it, face-to-face hugs and, you know, reality coming up probably by this time to the end of next year, right? So you become a member of the club and you receive a ticket to what we would call the main positivity festival. Now we'll have other positivity festivals, mini positivity festivals at a local level. You know how there's like the TED conference and then there are TEDx's all over the world? That's actually an idea from one of our great positive prime leaders, Jackie Simmons. So there will be beautiful local chapters who will be hosting gatherings like meetups where we all talk about everything that is positive and good and enriching and empowering and helps us all. And we'll have amazing people who put up their hands. Maybe it's going to be you if this is resonating with you and you say, you know what, I'm going to lead the charge. I'm going to create a local community that's all around positivity, and we're all going to be positive primers, and we're all going to be members of the Positivity Club, and we're all going to come to the physical festival, which at this stage, I will tell you, we are thinking it'll either be in Hawaii and or Orlando. We're actually just doing a little bit of recon with that soon. So let me just quickly show you the Positivity Club membership levels, and let me explain to you the next step. So for those of you, I'm actually just going to a website that you'll be able to go to. I'll put it in the chat. You could come in at what we would call, and I think that this is really interesting, let's call it the compassion level, 5,000, because I want to keep the numbers easy for everybody to understand. There are options anywhere between 300 and indeed 100,000. And also there are other options at 300,000 or 500,000 or $1 million, but that's a completely different story that needs to be happening personally and with some negotiation, and it's one-on-one and it's in very rare circumstances. But let me go to 5,000. So what would happen is that you would actually come into the Positivity Club, you would receive your opportunities in respects of the Positivity Festival. So that's the most important thing that you understand. Your membership actually gives you access to the festival. And a little bit like, I want you to imagine a Splendor in the Grass, as we call it here in Australia, or a Glastonbury in the United Kingdom, or a Coachella, or a Burning Man, or something else like that. This is designed to be fun and very spiritual, where there'll be lots of experiences that will help us to all get rid of that negative thinking and those, paradigms and beliefs that don't serve us, and step into new versions, more beautiful versions of ourselves, and so on and so on. Well, what happens that inside this special opportunity right now, and this is a right now conversation, this is not, you may be watching this in 6 months' time or a year's time and everything will have changed. So we actually are going to gift you or distribute to you what would be the equivalent of 20 to 1 in tokens. Now, these are these real tokens. They'll go into your MetaMask wallet. Some of you may not have a MetaMask wallet yet. If you don't, then we can help you set it up. What will happen is that when the distribution occurs and you receive your tokens that are associated with your membership at this compassion level, 5,000 at 20 to 1 is actually 100,000 tokens. And you'll see here it says 97,000. I'm going to explain why. We have something called a reflection technology tax token. It is the most magnificent concept I've actually come across ever. It's a Web3 invention, so a blockchain world innovation. And what it really means is that 3,000 tokens are then equitably shared with everybody who's already come into the club, and a tiny portion based upon the number of tokens those members have. That's the easiest way for me to describe it. And so for the first time, I think in history, this is actually a very honest conversation around early birds do get the best worms. We will actually have this situation where there is intrinsic inflation in the valuation of the token. So you might think, okay, well, that means the tokens right now are worth 5 cents. Well, tokens aren't really worth anything until they're actually exchanged in a real marketplace, which is why we're developing a real marketplace. But you'll be able to hold these tokens in your MetaMask wallet, and you'll have two choices in the future. The not too distant future, you can spend them in our marketplace. A little further down the road, about a year and a half from now, you will be able to have your tokens exit out of your MetaMask wallet through a decentralized exchange. And so you'll be able to convert them back into either another cryptocurrency and or out through the system as cash into your bank account, depending upon how you've linked up your own cryptocurrency wallet. So that's a conversation for a little bit later, but I want you to really think about this. You are here, you join Positive Prime as a subscriber if you haven't already, and then and only then after that you receive an invitation. It's implied and implicit right now to actually join the Positivity Club. You cannot join the Positivity Club unless you actually are a positive primer. We want everybody to be positively priming themselves. That's how good positive priming is for you. And we also want everybody to be really engaged in this collective effort. And this is about all boats rising on a tide now. So what will happen is that the more people who join us, the more people you share this with, and the more people who come on from anywhere in the world 24/7 at any time through anyone, all of these reflection or all of the tokens that are involved in that reflection technology aspect of our smart contract, that's actually being shared. And so we will see that there is a real increasing in our token, right? So the real increasing in our token means that we have a goal for you to be able to exit out of the system through a decentralized exchange within 12 to 18 months. And that's if we're all getting our skates on, we're out there sharing, we're out there creating lots of enthusiasm, there's some excitement around what we're doing. And there's a lot of marketplace acceptance and acknowledgement of how brilliant Positive Prime is and how wonderful being a member of the Positivity Club is. Okay, so let's just say, and this is this is a frank conversation. I'm being candid with you because I don't want you to make a decision that you're not comfortable with making. And I also really don't want you to make a decision that you're not capable of making. Maybe at this particular moment in time, you don't actually have enough cash to get in at any one of these levels. What you could do is throw yourself into Positive Prime. You can become a very active and engaged affiliate in Positive Prime, and you could make lots of 50% of $199. Right? Lots of 50% of $199. So you could then use that to join the Positivity Club. So you could have your commissions for all that referral work actually help you out here. It's something to seriously consider. All right, so now you're into the Positivity Club. You've chosen a level. Let's just say it's the $5,000 level. And you will receive your 100,000 tokens minus the 3% that is reflection tax. And this 3% reflection tax, we turn off when we go to a decentralized exchange. That's the plan, right? So it doesn't actually continue to be in place when we're on a decentralized exchange or on a centralized exchange, right? So you can turn on and off this reflection tax. This reflection tax we've got on for the benefit of our members before traders become involved in this story in the future, down the track, okay? So let's just say you've got 97,000 tokens. And let's just say they do become worth 20 cents in a decentralized exchange environment, or 50 cents, or $1, or $10. I just want to show you something that I actually showed somebody else the other day. So I'm just going to go here and I'm going to go Ethereum price. I showed somebody this. So are you all still with me? Let me know if you've got any questions at this stage. If any of this is good, give me a thumbs up, give me a star, give me a smile, give me some like, woo, some feedback, something. So I know that you're all following along and playing. What I want to do here is I want to go out to maximum. For this is Ethereum. This is the cryptocurrency. In the very beginning, before Ethereum was on a decentralized exchange or a centralized exchange, you could actually get access to the cryptocurrency before it went to, imagine, the public market. The same is here now, and only our positive primers get this opportunity inside this closed invitation for the time being. Now, when Ethereum started, can you see here, on the 14th of October in 2016, it was $11.95. And then by 2018, it was actually $1,300. This is a demand and supply economics, which they call tokenomics in this world, story. This is just purely the way it actually works in the real world. Demand and supply and exchanges in a marketplace is actually what sets the tone, the speed, and indeed the sustainability of these stories. So imagine if you had been you'd been watching Ethereum and you decided to buy it at $1,300. You would have felt relatively annoyed by December 2018 when it was only $130 odd. Wouldn't have you? You'd be like, oh goodness me, this is a scam. It's all BS. I've lost a lot. I should never have gotten into this. You'd have a billion stories going around in your brain, at least 40, 50, 60, 70,000 thoughts a day. Some of them not so helpful or empowering, right? But what if you were patient and you actually waited until 2021? So you just waited a year or two and you weren't spending your tokens. Do you think you would have felt awesome when they were $3,900 if you'd bought at the top of this peak when they were $1,300? Do you think you would have felt like you were very clever and that your angels had your back when they were $3,917 each? Well, in all of these, you can have fractions of the cryptocurrency, like Bitcoin, like 0.1110038%, right? Well, if you were involved in this right now and you had bought at the peak, which is 4,000, and it was only 1,000 right now, you'd be at a third, you'd probably, or quarter, you'd actually be really upset, wouldn't you? Highly likely, right? However, let's hope you exited with a little bit here and a little bit here and a little bit here And let's hope you are in for the long haul. Well, that is actually similar to this story. And what's the opportunity with our positivity token? This is a journey of all of us bringing about positivity on planet Earth in our lifetimes and making a wonderful contribution just by being the best at who we are, gorgeous, wonderful human beings, and improving our health and well-being and being involved with like-minded, like-hearted people. It's actually not all that complex. Today is a very, very, very simple decision. If you're not already a Positive Prime subscriber, then it is really spectacular as an opportunity to invest $199 in yourself and your own self-love practices, right? So that's very simple, that decision. I can put my hand on my heart. I can look into your soul through your eyes and say, I honestly believe it is in your best interest to positively prime yourself as often as you can, as many days as you can for the rest of your life. And the science supports that too. Right? And there is a place in our leadership levels going through the certification for people who are coaches and therapists and healers and authors and speakers and trainers to actually then have your own content on our platform and for you to be, quite frankly, shown to a lot of people who maybe would never have come across you and the medicine in your message, right? So that in and of and by itself is, I think, an awesome chance. And for those of us who want to share this with others, you're richly rewarded. We have a very generous affiliate program, and we pay out every 5 days after your balance actually exceeds $100. We have affiliates who are paid out regularly because they're in action, they're sharing, and their friends, their family, their co-workers, people in their teams are all joining Positive Prime, and they're getting their 50% and they're being paid. And they're doing this really at this incredible pace. And then all of those people who are new to us are now jumping into the Positivity Club opportunity because maybe they see for themselves they could actually be a supplier or a vendor in the marketplace. And if you dive in now, you benefit from the reflection tax. So this is a early birds do catch the best worms opportunity right now. And that is absolutely the truth. If you make this decision immediately today, right now, and you then join the club, even at the $300 level, everybody thereafter, all the reflection tax is actually reflected in your MetaMask wallet as well every time tokens are distributed, which, by the way, is about once a week at this stage. So once a week, we distribute tokens in the exact order in which people came in. It is bizarre and phenomenal and fantastic. It really, truly is, quite frankly, the most amazing thing that I've ever created thus far, possibly that I will ever create. And it is such an honor, privilege, and pleasure to be sitting here knowing that we are of integrity. And we've actually set this up so that it's in your best interests for the long term, i.e. Positive Primers as subscribers and Positivity Club members. We are behind the scenes working very hard and fast. It takes a monumental, giant effort by lots of people for this to be truly successful, including you. And so we absolutely are seeking out people who want to participate in a meaningful and significant way in this journey, helping us to share. So we are seeking out those kinds of people who are awesome and have been in their direct sales and their network marketing and their multi-level marketing worlds as affiliates and influencers, because that is actually truly what is needed. It's what's required, and it serves everybody, including themselves. There's lots of cash commissions to be paid out. I love it when we pay out people because I go, guess what? It's all working. Someone said to me last night, you know, Kim, I love it that you say it works. And I really pride myself on that. I've got a lot of morals and ethics and this compass, this wisdom compass, and I've got a lot of integrity around delivering on promises. It works. See, Positive Prime sessions work. They do on your brain dynamics. And what is really important about that is that there is this ripple effect. So when the retina in your eyes actually processes the images that you're looking at, and your mirror neurons in your brain are processing that, you're sending messages to your endocrine system, and hormonally you're starting to produce more serotonin, dopamine, oxytocin, these incredible delicious hormones and endorphins and neurotransmitters, and it's super healthy for your body. And so there is this ripple effect. What's actually being consumed in an audiovisual experience works to improve your health and well-being, and that is the truth. And so everything else that we will be doing and that we will continue to do and that we have been doing is around, quite frankly, being in this place where you can have some faith and you can trust that I, in particular, will do my very best not to let you down. As a subscriber and as a member and as an affiliate and as a fellow journey light worker, quite frankly, making the world a better, brighter place. That's what we're here for. So I hope that that's been helpful. I wonder if you've got any, interesting questions. I'm available. Is that all good? Or do you want me to dive into some answers now? Who's willing to share in the chat if you've got a question? Okay, Joy, fantastic question. Thank you. We have over 10,000 people in the Positive Prime world at the moment, but let me help you understand something much more complex than that. I'm going to give you an example, should I? Let's just go to, let me screen share again, because this might be helpful for everybody else. So let's go to this page. Let me tell you, well, in our leaders program, so sorry, this is positiveprime.com/leaders. We have several levels or layers of leadership. We have people who have Positive Prime sessions, and they actually have their sessions available only on their own website. So I'll give you an example. Let's just see if that, no, not here, not here, not here. So Positive Prime Player, let me just go here, because this you can't navigate to. So the answer is there's hundreds of thousands of people, and we do track it, and we know, right? So, and we've got the counters in the background. So if you have your own Positive Prime session, you can have it on your own website. Now, let me give you an example. This lady is absolutely fabulous. Her name is Gail, and she is a sensational leader in the Norworks world. I don't know if you know that direct sales world, but anyway, it's an amazing world. She's on a real mission to help people in terms of the environment and the planet, and removing toxicity and chemicals from your lifestyle and your home and so forth. This is her website. This is actually her website. This is Gail's website. This is not ours. But you can see down here on Gail's website, she actually has a Positive Prime session. And so people can watch her content. Her content is specific to her Norwex business and her team members, and it honors and respects, and it allows her team leaders to shine. They're actually featured in this particular session. Now, we've done this for leaders at doTERRA. We've done this for leaders at Enagic, the Kangen water machine system. We've done this for people in Arbonne. We've done this for people. So I could go on and on and on with this story. So we have hundreds of thousands of people who view Positive Prime sessions, but not via our platform, right? And we have companies that have Positive Prime sessions that are available only to their employees, and it's very specific content to them. And so we have all sorts of different kinds of opportunities for Positive Prime sessions. So what we are effectively doing as well is we are growing out our own numbers of subscribers, and we've got many more subscribers, quite frankly, and I'll tell you how they come to us. I'll give you an example. Let's go here to our top 10 sessions. See this session, it's called Train Your Brain for Abundance by Dana Wilde. Dana Wilde is one of the most glorious human beings on the planet. I absolutely adore her, and she has been a supporter for years and years and years. And she actively promotes and she recommends to all of the people in her community Positive Prime, and she does so as an affiliate. And so lots of people have come to Positive Prime via Dana Wilde, but even Dana has her session available to her members in her community via her own website and via her own, what we would call funnels in onboarding and programs and so forth. And so we do have this interesting mix of lots of subscribers that come to us via people like Dana Wilde. We don't actually at this stage do a lot of marketing externally and directly. We don't have ads constantly running on either Facebook or Instagram. We don't do a lot on Twitter. We don't do a lot on YouTube. We don't do a lot with Google AdWords. And so the truth is the majority of our organic growth by people who are loyal to our community are through people like Dana and or indeed people like Leah. So I hope that helps. Does that help? So I can tell you there are thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of more people who actually are benefiting from Positive Prime who aren't physical active members on our platform, subscribers as we would call them. So there you go. What else do you want to know? Anybody? I very much appreciate you being here today. I hope that this has been helpful to you. Please do, if you're not already, become a Positive Prime subscriber. Get back to the person who invited you here. If you would like a more in-depth conversation, I'm absolutely happy to have consultations with people who are, at a minimum, an annual Positive Prime subscriber and at the gratitude level of Positivity Club membership. So once you've made those two decisions and you've taken that action, I'm absolutely open to consultations. What you'll also get to know is that I make myself available every single week, except when I'm on vacation, which is 2 weeks, about every 3 months. I make myself available to do group coaching and mentoring and energy healing. And I love it. And I'm absolutely devoted to that. And I think that those people who do show up to those weekly Q&A opportunities or coaching opportunities, I think they enjoy it. And I think that there's a lot of value, but we also record them. And so if you're a subscriber and you're a member, you've got a lot of deliciousness to consume over a very short period of time on this journey. And I think that those people who have been Positive Primers for a long time are still Positive Primers, because even if you forget the practice for a little while, or you quite frankly get distracted by life, and that can happen, most people come back to regularly viewing Positive Prime. They do, because they kind of notice life just doesn't work as effortlessly and as calmly, and opportunities just don't seem to arise. In fact, they evaporate when you're not positively primed, and when you're not planting seeds regularly in the quantum field, because in the watching of the Positive Prime session, you bypass the conscious critical judgment factors of the prefrontal cortex, and you planted the seed and you're nurturing the seeds for manifestation out there in the other than consciousness. So anyway, there are a lot of resources for you, a lot of free materials for you to actually go through. I take advantage of them. You may as well. I can tell you, I used to be a procrastinator. I am no longer. I used to give myself grief over all sorts of things and just ruminate on my mistakes. I no longer. I'm much better at surrendering and letting go. And it's absolutely because of the variety of Positive Prime sessions by the amazing group of leaders who have contributed their content to the platform. I love Nadine's session. I love Audrey's session. I love Jackie's session. I love Deeterell's session. I love Patty's session. I love Pam's session. I love Michael's session. I love Jordan's session. I love Brett's session. I mean, I'm serious. I don't know where else I could avail myself of being with the essence of them at any time I like. And I am when I watch their Positive Prime session. So I hope that's been super helpful. Love you all. I'll look forward to seeing you in person and giving you a real hug. Bye. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Mwah. Let's go create magic. Please do let us know how this information has landed with you and resonating with you. Bye.